Thank you for joining the Just Journey podcast. This is the Tea Time series that we're going to have today. As I mentioned in the first segment, I am definitely going to expose the names of the individuals I am referring to. Some names will be kept quiet, but if you don't put it out, it ain't going to get out. So, if you're looking for any type of ad space or promos, you can definitely reach out to justjourneymanagement@gmail.com. This podcast is available on Apple, Amazon, YouTube, and Spotify. Again, that's the Just Journey podcast. Let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to talk about for this little segment is to pick your struggles, right? A lot of times people get on social media, and we know that on the internet, people can be whatever they want to be. They tell truths and they tell lies. And I'm not saying that my mouth is a prayer book or that it doesn't hold any kind of fact or fiction, right? I'd rather tell a person to just kind of do the research yourself if you don't believe what it is that I'm saying, okay? One of the things that I want you guys to know is that I just recently started a new job. Yay me, right? And what I've noticed is that sometimes when people are in their struggle and you've come out of yours, that they're not as happy for you as they should be, or as you would like them to be, or they're not matching the energy that you would give them. Okay? Let me also point out that I don't have any kids. And I don't have any kids because so many women have been the example of the reason why not. Knowing my lifestyle, knowing my shortcomings, knowing my flaws, knowing my life desires, and just kind of seeing certain things as I grew up. So one of the things that I would like to tell women today is that when it comes to social media and your children or your child should always come first. That would be my first thought, right? There's nothing wrong with a child being slow, if you don't like the word, being delayed, if you don't like the word, having a learning disability, if you don't like the word, being underdeveloped for their age, if you don't like the word, not having speech, if you don't like the word. Okay? I'm not saying that that's the problem, but the problem is the parent that ceases to recognize that there is an issue. Okay? If you are frustrated to the point where you can only scream and yell, and that is the only language that your child knows, then how do you expect them to develop a language with a vocabulary? Outside of hearing you scream and yell because you're frustrated that you can't do what you want to do. It's actually quite heartbreaking to know that some parents would be so irresponsible that they would leave things hanging around like weed pens, marijuana, and then when their child has picked those things up and put them in their mouth at such a young age, we're talking about under the age of 4. You wonder why, right? They even tell us as an adult, hey, like, if you're smoking marijuana, it's a possibility that it's going to stop some level of your brain function. So my thought, not being a parent, would be that, hey, if I was a drug user, which I have smoked in the past, but I don't anymore. But if I had a child in my presence, it would be, let's get this out of the way. I feel like something that's harmful to a child in a child's reach is no different than a knife, something sharp, something that will slow down their developmental process. Those things should be put out of reach. But here's the catch though. If you're sitting right there, how aloof would you have to be for you to not recognize what that child is doing? And that's the struggles that I'm talking about now. You would have to be really aloof to just not be paying attention, but all of your attention is on this social media app that we call Bigo. We have to speak out about these things because these children are suffering at the hands of their mothers and their fathers.